Hola, mi amigos. You know, I've played this game for a few hours now. I've had the chance to get my feet wet in the game mechanics and challenges, and more so some of the actual weapons. Yeah, there were only like a few weapons that really stuck out to me. There's my obvious baby, my one and only pride and joy, the switch axe, the bane of my existence and my worst enemy, the longsword. And hell, even charge blades piqued my interest, because who doesn't want to strap a chainsaw to the side of some poor creature's left kneecap? But there is one weapon, one that I feel like I was destined to learn and put to use ever since I started the series with World. One really long stick that scratches at that Dragoon itch that only a Final Fantasy game can scratch at. But now that I think about it, I think that itch is probably from the disease transmitted by the mosquito on my arm. If you want to know what it's like wearing the Roblox Spring Tool and join the big leagues or Rathos' self-given title, the King of the Skies, then look no further than every kid's dream toy, the Insect Glaive, also known as the Pogo Stick, also known as Wee Wee Baguette. I was really hesitant to finally pick up the Insect Glaive, even though I already knocked about like 326 hours into this game and finally reached my goal of 100 Arc Velds hunted, but Baby Bird had to fly from his nest at some point, except he's missing all 3 Kinsect charges, so all he does is a little leap. But after deciding one night after work to sit down and finally lock in, I made myself the perfect god roll for the Insect Glaive, wait, what the fuck, and took off to the skies, growing my own set of wings just to be smacked down by a hitbox that somehow extended to the exosphere. I'm up here, you're down here, how are you hitting me? You can expect to be soaring and mounting monsters over and over, pissing off your friends as they constantly attempt to get their own mount. But you, the prominent master mountain, are a selfish bum, and you don't care about others and their mounts. They should have grown wings, like you. Isn't that right, you little pits, baby, you little squiggly you? But I know what you're gonna ask me. Hey, buddy? How does this thing even work? Is it worth using, and are you finally divorced from the switch axe? First off, how dare you? I would never drop my wife for a breadstick. And secondly, spoilers, it is worth using if you want to give the monsters malaria. As all weapons do, the Mameluke has 2 variations of attacks, triggered by hitting either triangle or circle, /Y and B. Your triangle attack is a varying 3-move combo of simple slash and spin attacks, causing decent damage when it hits. Like other weapons, you can hold the left analog stick either left or right to maneuver during your attacks, allowing you to reposition while not dropping your combo and your DPS. Good to remember, as the Insect Glaive doesn't have a counter move outside of one offset, but we won't be talking about that yet. Circle only does one move on its own, being a gap closer while doing decent damage to boot, but it could also be thrown in the middle of your 3/ combo, doing a heavy sweep for a bit of extra damage, but it suffers from giving you downtime before you can do your next attack. Now, if that was all the weapon had to offer, then I would advise anyone who wants to use this weapon against it, and to instead pick up the switch axe. But not only have I already spread enough switch axe propaganda, that is not the only thing this weapon has to offer, so sit your asses down. Awakening the Astidian inside you, by holding right trigger and pressing X or A, you'll propel yourself into the air, giving you the option of aerial combat. This is where the fun begins. Psych, you can only dash forward and do a puny swing by pressing triangle, or do a dive bomb by pressing circle. If your slash hits, it'll propel you back into the air, allow you to continue with aerial combat. That is if you have the stamina for it. That's right, every action you take in the air, whether it's a double hop to reposition or your aerial slash, will take a chunk out of your stamina. Awaken the Dark Souls player inside you, because this bar matters. Except it doesn't. Now I know what you're asking. Pal, is that it? Good news! No, it's not. Bad news for me. No, it's not. While still holding right trigger, getting into your pose because you're a farmer, if you press triangle, you will summon the little mosquito on your arm to actually do something for once. Wake the fuck up, Ebola Emanator. Still holding right trigger, if you press triangle, you will send your pet Pandemic out to suck on the monster's blood, collecting an extract depending on where it lands. To collect the extract and let it absorb into your body like soldier serum, press circle and tell your puppy to come back for head pats and upbeats. You have in general 4 extracts, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 orange. Usually the red extract is found at the front of the monster, most of the time its head or another crucial body part, like for example a Seregios' legs. The white extract is usually found in the monster's rear, like the tail or the hind legs. Don't ask what the extract is, it's one of the world's greatest mysteries. The orange extract can be found somewhere in between, like the back or even the wings. The 4th extract doesn't have any extra use outside of providing some healing for you, which is pretty helpful. What, do you expect me to say something else? It's helpful. Now, if you don't want to constantly send out your Kinsect for each individual extract, what you can do is actually go into focus mode. When in this mode and performing your triangle combo, your Kinsect will actually double team the monster, acting as the Todo to your Yuji while also collecting extract to bring back to you. Even better, when you do the final slash of your triangle combo, it will open up its body and allow for it to collect 3 extracts all at once to be brought back to you. Go forth, Lucifer, Daddy wants to choose. What the fuck? When in possession of all 3 extracts, you enter a more powered up state, giving your attacks extra oomph and more slashes, especially your triangle combo. Along with that, your circle now has an extra use, coming straight from the red extract. I hope you like having sore fingers because by golly, this will be painful. If you hold circle while standing still or while doing your attacks, you will swiftly charge up a super Beyblade attack, throwing out constant slashes and tapping into your inner blender. Even better, when you jump into the air to perform aerial attacks, your puny dash attack becomes helicopter, while still allowing you to continue your aerial combo. Even better, you can also charge up your blender move while in the air, allowing for you to drop down and scar the monster even deeper. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if the real Insect isn't your Kinsect. It might actually just be you. Remember how I said the guillotine has no actual counter? Well, it does have an offset, performed at a very specific time during a blender attack, usually half a second after it begins. You swat at the monster's attacks with your legs, continuing your assault right after brushing it off what could very well have just been a chain blade from Arkveld, which, I'm sorry, but what are they feeding these hunters? That kind of power in a kick is not normal. That's some Yoruichi type shit. And that isn't the end. The blender move actually has a finishing attack, only performed when in focus mode. If you hold left trigger and press B right after the attack, the hunter evolves from man to it. Is that a fucking hurricane? During this move, you can even see the little guy swirling around with you as well, which will cause him to suck off even more extract for you from the monster. If you're positioned correctly on the monster, it may even collect all 3 extracts, allowing you to hop right back into the fray with a full pallet of drugs in your arsenal. There's just something so satisfying about picking up the Insect Glaive after years of putting it off due to being uncomfortable with stepping out of my comfort zone. It broadens my horizon and sticking rods up the rectum of my unexpected prey, the same way the Switch Axe taught me the steps I need in fucking them over along with the ecosystem. Especially if you're going against large, more rotund monsters like Uthduda and Zoshia, this twig will eat at their HP faster than you could say. Except, I didn't step out of my comfort zone. I was forced out of it. Thanks, Lucci. You're a piece of shit. But you're my favorite piece of shit. How about you buy me some heirlooms for once? I know it's taken me a hot minute to finally get back to the swing of things, and believe me, I missed making videos like this as well. Granted, I've only made like 2, and put one on complete hold and hiatus, never to see the light of day, but this one is something I've been hounding to do ever since I finally decided to lock the fuck in with life again. Insect Glaive has been such a different and unique experience in the week that I spent finally trying it out and getting familiar with its moveset and tech, being quite the ego boost that I totally needed. From the ability to turn into a helicopter to swatting at monsters' attacks with my dinky little feet, I can confidently say that I do not regret finally giving this weapon a shot. It may be a good 6 years late, but I can confidently say that I'm satisfied with the experience. Switch Axe is still supreme though.